Alright everyone, it is time for me, Vara Dark, to review Bloom Enrage Lost Records. Tape 1 came out a month ago. Today we played Tape 2 on release day. It's time. We are gonna rapid fire this, because you guys know when I love a game, we'll sit here for a fucking 40 minutes talking about it. I don't want to talk about this game anymore. I don't want to talk about it. I'm never replaying it. If they come out with a sequel, I don't think I'm gonna play it either. Graphics were alright. I think that visually, the game was pretty standard. As I say many times now, just because a game is pretty does not make it good, and good graphics should be the standard. I'm going with alright. Aesthetic, they were trying to make it feel like the 90s, in 95. One of the most cringeworthy examples was the Blair Witch, right? Set in 95. Blair Witch didn't come out till 99. I think it was supposed to be very, like, nostalgia bait aesthetic. Now, I was born in 98, so, like, I don't have first-hand experience with 90s culture, but I've consumed enough content to know that that was not, like, 90s culture. It was a shallow attempt at it. In my opinion, the aesthetic was, I'll say average. It did not have anything super unique about it. The only aesthetic choices that were unique were the magic, like the moths and the purple and the eyes and the swirling. Average. Music,
what the hell? I don't know.
awful. Difficulty, there's not, all you do is take pictures of things and walk around. Now listen, there are visual novels out there that are wildly popular, massively successful, and that is perfectly fine. But this, to me, had an okay idea, like with the camcorder. But the problem is that if you're going to make a visual novel that has no kind of combat or anything, and you're just making a game that is an interactive, immersive movie, it needs to be written well, and it was not. Bugs, there were a couple of bugs and glitches. In the first stream, the game had crashed once. There was lots of, like, visual pop-in and stutter between, like, for the transitions between cutscenes, and for some reason we kept seeing shadow people in this tape, so quite a lot of bugs. Story, I'm perfectly fine with a story that consists of girls growing up together, forming relationships in their youth, growing up as adults with each other. This, to me, was such a fucking weak attempt at being something unique. It's like Twin Peaks. They clearly had a Twin Peaks vibe going on. There's a lot of mystery, a lot of, like, magic, ominous things going on. Very Alan Wake, oh, you enter this town and everything is actually not what it seems. Not good, though. The only character I had a growing interest in was Kat, and that is because she had cancer. If the only trait about your character to make them interesting is, like, sickness, that's not good. The character writing was god-awful. The general story was awful, and Dylan was the worst character I've experienced in years. She was so terrible. The game would not have happened if she just stuck up for her sister at the beginning of the experience. And sure, she could have started that way and then progressed into a better character, flourish into a better character, but she didn't. She had absolutely no fucking growth at all whatsoever, and that weighed the story down. Also, at the end of Tape 1, going into Tape 2, we had this, like, weird blood ritual that was never referenced again. Like, in the first part, everyone was, like, really nervous about it, and, like, Autumn was scared of it. And then they never really mentioned the blood ritual again, which I thought was super bizarre. It's like the writers forgot about it. I'm going bad. I'm not gonna say non-existent, but it was very bad. Gameplay, obviously, there's no gameplay. Quality of life, it was standard, I suppose. I didn't really notice anything missing except for gameplay. The game was 5.5, 6, 7, about 8.5 hours. So that's short. I'm sure that if you were reading every little journal entry and picking up every little item, it would be longer. You probably get 15 hours out of it, maybe 20. But I was not rushing through the game, and we landed at like 8.5 hours, so I'm going short. Now, I played this via PlayStation Plus. I did not pay any money for this, and I am very glad I did not, because that was an extremely bad product. I was not amused. I was not impressed. This is not worth a full price at all whatsoever. Now, granted, it is not a $70 game. It's not like it's a full price AAA experience. As of right now, it's on sale for $33.99. I assume that comes with part 2 as well, tape 2 as well, yeah. So for like 35 bucks you can buy this. It is not worth the $35 in my opinion. It is in the play it through PlayStation Plus if you really want to, or wait for it to be $5. In my opinion, it's not worth buying. I did not get any real enjoyment out of that experience. I didn't walk away with a sense of fulfillment or purpose. I did not feel that the character growth was that good. And keep in mind, all of the characters we were in the good graces of. None of the characters hated us. Not worth buying. Replayability, I will never replay it. Now, in terms of review scores, guys, let me bring up my game review list. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, I gave a 1. I changed it, I gave it a 1, fuck that game. Concord, I gave a 2. Fuck that game, it's dead. It can't even count, it was abandoned. Unknown 9 Awakening, I gave a 2. Dustborn, we didn't even finish, roughly a 2. Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn, we're getting up there. Dragon Age of Veilguard, a 3. This game, to me, I'd put it at a 2. I'd put it at a 2. Maybe a 2.5 on a generous day. I understand it was supposed to be a visual novel, and there isn't supposed to be boss fights or gameplay. None of the decisions felt like they mattered. I did not walk out of it with a sense of purpose or character progression. None of the characters grew, in my opinion. I did not feel any emotional connection to them. I felt they were all very shallow characters, very hollow. I felt that they were very bland. I did not like how they did not explain enough of the kind of magic system and the story. I thought that the ending was terrible, and even looking through the endings, I still felt like the ending was going to be terrible. I felt like the villain, Corey, was so forced. Sure, he was like a piece of trash, but there were so many chances throughout the game where things could have turned out differently, but they needed him to stay the villain. Guys, this experience was not good. I did not like it. I did not enjoy it. They constantly whine about how they are misunderstood because they are girls living in this small town. They constantly talk about needing to, find a sense of purpose and justice in the world, and they need to create justice. It's given very Daenerys Targaryen. I'm not going to stop the wheel, I'm gonna break the wheel. The men in their lives are holding them down. The main villain is a white man. The characters' motivations made absolutely no sense, or their sense of direction made no sense, because like at the end, when they go and they're sabotaging Kat's family's business. Like, I understand a little bit of that rage, but it was extreme and all of the characters were acting that way. I guess except for Autumn, she was a little bit more hesitant, but she still did it. I did not like this experience. I would not recommend this experience. I really found no enjoyment in it. So guys, with that being said, that's the end of the playthrough. We finished Lost Records Bloom and Rage. Fake Gamer right here. Finished her first visual novel. Not a good one. So yeah, guys. If you have any last minute questions, feel free to leave them in chat. Any comments, feel free to leave them in chat. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it.